Ladies and gentlemen, it's women's singles fourth round action at the Australian Open. Please welcome on to Rod Laver Arena from the Czech Republic, Barbora Strycova. And her opponent, also from the Czech Republic, Karolina Pliskova.
It's another all-Czech clash in the women's singles, and it's something that Karolina Pliskova has already faced with her previous opponent, someone she knew well, Lucy Safarova, and she was able to dispose of her. Well, she comes in against another player that she knows well, that she's teamed with before. Delightful night in Melbourne on Rod Laver Arena for the last match of day 8 of the Australian Open Championships. 19 degrees, just perfect conditions. Very cool and pleasant evening compared to the conditions that we had earlier in the week, but don't be fooled, the temperature is on the rise by the time they get to the women's final. In a few days' time, in 5 or 6 days' time, it's going to be up in the 30s again. Barbora Strycova coming off a really good year, career high match wins for her last year at 43, and so she goes in with the number 20 seeding beside her name, and she'll go in with a bit of confidence too, because she'll know well the game of her opponent. But when Pliskova's on, not many can beat her.
Hello, this is Emilia. She's going to do the coin toss. So just to remind you that we have Hawkeye, 3 incorrect challenges per set, plus 1 additional for the tiebreak, and we have the 25 second between points. Any questions? No? Emilia?
Heads, please.
So it's heads.
Receive.
Receive. Photo this way, please.
I think we've kind of worked out which way we're supposed to be looking now. And one thing was in evidence there, and that is the height differential between these players. And that's one of Pliskova's big weapons, that she gets it coming at you from such a great height. Lovely to be here on Rod Laver Arena. I must say it's lovely to be sitting in the commentary box with someone who I've had the opportunity of calling many times, but for the first time I get to sit beside Casey Delacqua. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Peter. It's great to sit alongside you, and great to be calling this match here at the Australian Open. It's been a great match that we just witnessed before, but looking forward to this one now.
Pliskova, rightly, Case, is going to be the favourite here, mainly because of their respective rankings. She's ranked 6 in the world. Strycova's ranked 24 in the world. But as I mentioned, she had a really good year, 43 and 25 she was, Strycova, last year. Career high matches won, so that'll give her some confidence rolling from 2017 into this new tennis year.
Yeah, I would almost go as far to say that Strycova is actually probably playing some of the best tennis of her career so far, and she's certainly going to be a threat here tonight against Pliskova.
She's been around for a long time now, 31 years of age. Her best Grand Slam result is a quarter-final. That was at Wimbledon in 2014, where she defeated Li Na on the way to losing to Petra Kvitova. She's a fighter. She's a really good scrapper. She gives you what she's got when she's out there on the court. Her best result at the Australian Open has been 4th round the past 2 years, where you can make that 3 years in a row now. And so she can equal her best Grand Slam performance if she's able to progress through to the quarterfinals tonight. To do that, she's going to have to be in form, because Pliskova the other day, 2 days ago, against Lucy Safarova was right at her best. It was a quality match. She won it 7-6, 7-5 in 1 hour and 37 minutes, but her numbers were really good. We'll talk about those as the match unfolds. She's won nearly $11 million in prize money. 3.9 of it came last year. She warmed up by reaching the semi-finals in Brisbane, where she lost to the eventual champion in Alina Svitolina. 3 titles last year. Brisbane was the first, then Doha, then Eastbourne. She made 5 semi-finals, including Roland Garros, and became the first Czech woman to reach number 1. She did that on the 12th of July and did it for 8 weeks. They've met 3 times before. Pliskova carries the advantage in from their previous meetings, and she is entitled to be the favourite here tonight. And Casey, we talked about the fact that there is a massive height differential between the two, and that's part of Pliskova's weaponry because she brings that serve at you from such a great height. It's hard to handle.
Yeah, absolutely. That's certainly one of her biggest strengths is the serve. It's also her, like you said, her ultimate weaponry is her big game style, her aggressive play. On the other hand, you have Strycova, who you spoke about, is a fighter, gives you a lot of different looks at different balls, some slice, she scraps, and she can turn offense into defense very well. She likes to come forward. So we're going to see two very different game styles tonight, and I feel like the racket is a bit more on Pliskova's racket tonight, but she's got to produce a good level consistently because Strycova is going to make her play a lot of balls.
And that's nice to see a player coming onto court with a bit of a smile on her face because, as you know, it can be a very stressful experience walking out here.
Absolutely. Rod Laver Arena night session, it's kind of where you want to be, but for the players, it's the ultimate place to be. You want to be on centre court. I think playing a fellow country woman adds a little bit of extra, I guess, pressure. You obviously, Pliskova is the #1 ranked Czech player. She, like you said, played a great match against Safarova in the previous round, so hopefully that probably helps her and puts her in good stead for this match. But we know that Barbora and Pliskova had a bit of a few words at the end of last year about their coaching changes, but I'm sure out here tonight it will be all about the tennis and who is the best player tonight.
And we're not too far away from finding out who that best player is going to be. And the winner tonight will meet Simona Halep, who disposed of Naomi Osaka of Japan earlier tonight.
1 minute.
And Osaka played a brilliant
Ladies and
match
gentlemen,
against
Barbora
your good
Strycova
friend
won the
Ash
toss
Barty
and chose to receive.
out on Margaret Court Arena. I was so impressed with Naomi the other night. Ash didn't play that badly, but Naomi was brilliant.
Yeah, Naomi played a great match. Ash had a few opportunities throughout that match to get into, especially the first set. But yeah, Naomi played a great match. But I think Halep is just that next level of, I guess, player in terms of ranking and making you play a lot of balls. And she played a great match tonight.
Not a bad recovery off a 15-13 third set 2 days previously.
She's obviously done a great pre-season. She's in fine nick, and she'll be at home relaxing with her feet up, ready to watch this match tonight.
So it's going to be the #6 seed against the #20 seed. Karolina Pliskova is out there and ready to go. Louise Engzel in the chair is ready to go.
End of warm-up time.
And now Barbora's out there too. So we know that she'll cover the court well. She always does. Pliskova,
First set.
if she's on song,
Karolina
can
Pliskova
beat anybody in the game. She was on song against Safarova. Can she carry it on here?
Love the 10.
Now, it's only the first 2 points of the game, but sometimes you can get a feel for the way that Karolina comes out. There was none of this against Safarova. She was really tight from the word go with everything she did.
Yeah, there's just even the feet a little bit flat to start this match.
Yeah.
It's great play going in back behind someone when you're playing an opponent that moves as well as Strycova. I sense Pliskova a few nerves. The other thing
13.
that's obviously different compared to when Pliskova played Safarova is the conditions. She obviously played Safarova in the day. We're obviously playing here at night. Tends to be a little bit slower.
And this is the time where Strycova has to take advantage of this. She's at the other end hoping that her opponent might come out just a little off. And that's what she's been able to see so far. So an opportunity straight away to make a statement in this match.
Well, that's the way to save a break point so early in this match. Was prepared to just not miss there, Pliskova.
15-shot rally.
And like you said, break points against a player like Pliskova, they sometimes don't come too often. So
Advantage.
when you get that opportunity, they're like gold. So you've got to make the most of them.
Juice.
They're the sort of rallies that Strycova really enjoys. That's the way she rolls.
Advantage. Pliskova.
Pliskova's first serve percentage against Safarova in the third round was excellent. 77% of her serves into play. She started off with a similar number here. That's one piece of good news for her.
Yeah, it's certainly one area of Pliskova's game that when she is serving at such a high percentage of first and second, winning points on second serve, she's pretty tough to beat.
And that's a serve she used really well against Safarova the other day. Admittedly, that was against a lefty.
Advantage. Pliskova. Let first serve.
Too good. And she'll be breathing a big sigh of relief. That is such an important hold for Pliskova.
First game.
She hasn't come out with all guns blazing, but she's got the first game on the board.
Yeah, very important game to get under her belt. As we saw even in that first game, Pliskova seeing a lot of different balls. Strycova prepared to come forward. We're going to see a lot of that throughout this match.
So from the player's eye, Casey, what makes Strycova a hard person to play against?
Well, she's got a really good reputation within the locker room for being a fighter. People know
Barbora
when you come out here, you've got to be prepared to play a high-quality match for a long period of time. You know that she's going to throw in some slice, some heavier balls, some flatter balls, and she's basically just got a reputation for being a really good competitor, and I think that goes a long way in the women's game. Probably the one area of her game that she doesn't possess like a Pliskova is just big weaponry, big returns. She is going to have to serve well tonight, Strycova. Particularly points won on second serve will be an interesting stat tonight.
Well, there's a statement of intent early on. Serve volley.
15 up.
She's certainly not. She's certainly prepared to try everything.
Hard to win a point out there. What a terrific rally. 22 shots in the rally.
15-13.
Well, this was a very, very high quality point from both players. What impressed me the most out of that point was Pliskova's movement, her ability to turn defense into offense very quickly. Great movement here from Strycova. Certainly one of her strengths, but this movement forward made the volley very easy just due to the fact that she was in to the net super quick.
Game.
And that is a very strong hold in her first service game.
1 game on.
The match is only 11 minutes old. We've had 18 points. Strycova's been into the net 6 times already. She's served and volleyed, so she's planted that thought in Karolina's head. You don't know what I'm going to do. A little bit of uncertainty there.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that's the way she likes to play, and she'll continue to do that.
In her first service game, Pliskova equalled her fastest serve of the tournament so far. She got one in at 183.
Yeah, it's a great serve, isn't it, Pliskova? I have played her a couple of times, and like I said, when she's getting a lot of first serves in, you feel like you're not making gains in her service games, and it accumulates pressure on your service games because you know that you're going to face her serve down the other end. She can hit her spots like that. She's gone there twice already in this game. She uses the out wide on the first court really well. She basically can hit all the spots and consistently too.
And that is a much more convincing game than her opening service game. Pliskova holds to love, and we're on serve. 2-1, first set.
2 games to 1. Time.
What a beautiful view of Melbourne Park, and Louise Engzel has a pretty good view from the chair as well. On serve
Ladies and gentlemen, take your seats quickly.
in this
please. Thank
fourth
you.
round match. Simona Halep awaits in the quarterfinals. Just after 11 in the evening on a Monday, Melbourne time.
There's beers coming in.
Yeah, time for a few beverages.
A lot of the crowd obviously streaming in.
Do you think we could get that guy to divert the case and come up the stairs rather than down?
I know, I wouldn't mind one right now.
Yeah, she's going to stop that.
On the left baseline, the ball scored in.
And it did appear as though there was a margin to the naked eye.
Level 10.
And a good challenge from Karolina. We mentioned before the match that she's the first Czech woman to reach the #1 spot. She could regain it depending on what happens here during the 2 weeks. She needs to win the championship for that to happen, though.
Yeah, that #1 ranking, it's an interesting one on the women's side, isn't it?
15.
A couple of players have been there, grabbed it. It's changed a couple of times throughout 2017.
And I think there's 5 or maybe even 6 who can have it by the
Yeah.
end of the fortnight here.
They're all vying after it. I think a lot of them would potentially love to the Australian Open title to go along with that #1.
30.
A little bit of a war wound already. And you just start to feel, well, there might be a little bit more off after that. Just start to feel that Pliskova is moving into her work now. Hopefully she hasn't taken any more skin off.
30.
Well,
40.
she's certainly prepared to put her body on the line, isn't she? Strycova. Oh.
Juice.
Well, two very good first serves there from Strycova to save that break point,
Advantage. Strycova.
and then taking a little bit of pace off and using the out wide one there.
Her first serve percentage is doing the job for her at the moment. 92% of first serves in. She's missed one. And the curse works again. Well, that's a brilliant touch. She's got great power, but she's underrated with the touch she's got.
Yeah, that was a great point, and great to see Pliskova also willing to come forward. I certainly feel like in 2017 she actually added a lot of that, coming forward, taking balls out of the air into her game, and it's great to see her prepared to do that tonight as well. And like you said, her knowledge around the net is actually very good.
That serve is holding Strycova in pretty good stead, the wide one with the forehand.
Strycova.
And part of Pliskova's comfort at the net is she's a pretty good doubles player. She's been to 7 doubles finals and she's won 5 of them.
Absolutely.
Juice.
Hugely important game here for the 31-year-old. It's been going 6 minutes now. Pliskova can get the break here. She puts herself in a position where she can command the set.
Advantage.
Well, I already feel, even just watching the pressure that Strycova feels on a second serve. You said her first serve percentage was up at 92% earlier in this game, and I think she knows already tonight the importance of not allowing Pliskova to get a chance to hit too many second serves.
And again, she was on the way in. And to back up what you were saying, Casey,
Juice.
she's only needed the second serve 3 times and she hasn't won a point on that yet.
Yeah, it's a massive stat tonight. I'll keep an eye on it throughout the match. Points won on second serve.
Well, she's not going to be winning that one. So 0 from 4 now. And it gives a second opportunity for Pliskova to take a commanding position here. Eight minutes of tension in this fourth game. And there's the difference when the first serve goes into play.
Yeah, you're really not on the back foot when you get that first serve in. On the second serve, you can just feel Strycova's that little step behind in the point, and it makes such a massive difference in the overall picture of this match.
Let first serve. Strycova challenge the goal on the left near sideline. The ball scored out.
We're not quite on that line, but we're over that side of the court, and the linesperson would have got a really good look at it because it floated down.
I think she's just checking this one of the check challenge.
Just wide. Good call from the official.
Pliskova. Strycova has 2 challenges remaining.
A third opportunity then for Karolina to make the first statement.
Juice.
Every time Pliskova has had an opportunity on those 3 break points, Strycova's come up with the first serve.
Advantage, Strycova.
Casey was talking before about the need for Strycova to take her chances. The same can be said for her opponent, and she's had 3 of them. And that is round about an 11-minute game. How important will that turn out to be in the scheme of things? That is a big hold.
Yeah, massive hold there for Strycova, getting through that game, toughing it out. Big fist pump after she won that game, knowing the importance of hanging in there with Pliskova throughout, particularly early
Please,
in this
ladies
set.
and
But
gentlemen, this is not a changeover. Take your seats. Thank you. Strycova challenging the call on the left baseline. The ball was called out.
Well, she wants to be careful with her challenges here because I think this one's out too.
yeah, both the linesman and the chair called this one out.
Three millimetres it was. And so now she's got a challenge issue.
15 love. Strycova has 1 challenge remaining.
And that's not a lot of challenges, just the one when you're only 4 games into the match. From a player's point of view, Case, are you aware of that you don't want to set fire to challenges too early, or do you just feel as though you want to have a look at it regardless?
Yeah, there's often times where you want to check the challenge, like I said before, but you also want to have a couple up your sleeve when the set gets tight. I personally feel like Strycova's potentially wasted those 2 challenges.
I agree.
The first one, like you said, the linesman had a clear view of that. And the second one, both linesman and chair were pretty sure.
Bit of doubles there. We talked about her capabilities at the net, and she has a pretty gentle service game to lead 3-2.
Pliskova leads 3 games to 2.
Introducing new Control GX for men, the first shampoo with a brain. So smart, it reduces gray gradually. The more you shampoo, the less gray you have. How smart is that? Gradually reduce gray with Control GX shampoo from Just for Men.
Time.
We're on serve. Of the 2, perhaps Pliskova looking to play it more likely, but
thank you.
The scoreboard telling a tale of it being an even contest so far. I don't know who the Czech supporters are barracking for tonight.
It's very rare to often play a fellow countrywoman, but Pliskova's had the last couple of rounds against 2 Czech countrywomen.
Level 10.
I like to keep note of who wins the first point of a game because it's such an important thing. Strycova won the first point of the first game. Pliskova's won every first point of the games after that.
Yeah, I personally agree. It's one of my things my coaches always told me growing up. The first point sets a tone often for some of the game.
Not even with her wingspan could she get to that one.
Yeah, just snuck in here, Strycova. She gets in so fast.
I
feel like already in this match, Pliskova is playing a lot into Strycova's forehand side. And I feel like if there's a player that probably has a pretty clear game plan, it's Pliskova, knowing that her coach previously obviously coached Strycova.
It's all very well to get there, but then being able to handle that when you get there is an entirely different thing.
Yeah, she almost tried to get in too quick on that one. Potentially could have let this one bounce and it may have made it a little bit of an easier shot. But I do feel that forehand side of Strycova is the one that over the length of this match potentially could break down.
Second serve.
She's 1 of 5 on second serves.
Fourteen, 30. Again, Strycova.
She's done nothing wrong so far, Barbora Strycova.
3 games off.
She's been able to fend off challenges. That's the way she plays. She covers the court really well, as Casey has been talking about, but she's a fighter.
Yeah, no free points from Strycova.
What about when the balls get to the end of their life, Casey? 7th game here, starting to fluff up a little bit.
Yes, definitely. And they're a ball that after the 5-minute warm-up plus these first 6 games, you're definitely ready for a ball change.
Strycova then might see that as a bit of a chance, maybe negate some of Pliskova's serving power. And that's a good way to start the game. She finally wins the first point for the first time since the first game.
Yeah, she was prepared to change direction, take a risk, and use the open court to go down the line here. It's too good.
Now.
Well, she has quite the sense of humour. Always prepared to have a laugh, Strycova. Played a perfect point.
15-30.
She really piked on that right leg then. She might have been a bit lucky that she didn't roll it over and turn an ankle. Been a little awkward around the court.
30-on.
Must be such a nice feeling, even as a player myself.
Why create something this extravagant? Or make a back seat that feels nothing like a back seat? Why give it every feature you could want, along with a few you didn't know you needed? It's simple. You can build a car, or you can build a Cadillac. Come in now for this exceptional offer on the Cadillac CT6. Get this low-mileage lease on this 2018 Cadillac CT6 from around $549 per month. Visit your local Cadillac dealer.
He's got to hit it. He's on fire now.
The NFL's best face off over 5 exciting events at the Pro Bowl Skills Showdown. Thursday, 9 Eastern on ESPN. And don't miss the Pro Bowl.
He loves the camera, too. He has a lot of fun playing. Baldwin with a touchdown for the NFC.
Sunday, it's AFC versus NFC in the Pro Bowl. Coverage begins at 2:50 Eastern on ESPN and ABC.
Anywhere in the court.
Yep.
For example, those last 2 points, it's 2 great first serves
14-30.
from being 15-30 down to being now 40-30.
And that's her fastest serve of the tournament so far.
Wow.
184 kilometres an hour. It is such a weapon.
Pliskova.
It stands her in good stead there just when she was in trouble at 15-30. Bang, bang, bang goes Karolina, and she leads 4-3.
Time.
Look at that beautiful view. Garden Square was our starting point, just outside Rod Laver Arena. Out with the show courts. All right, out with the old balls, in with the new. On serve in the first set.
Well, I have to say, the quality of tennis so
59.
far, we've played 41 minutes, 7 games, and I would say every game has felt like it's been important. It's been really, really high quality tennis.
I mentioned it's quite late here. It's 25 to
15-0.
midnight. When you went on those great runs here and you played in front of the great crowds at Rod Laver Arena and your nan was sitting there watching you, did you play second in a lot of those or did you play first match most of the time? Can you recall?
I think I was in the period of time where it was majority of female matches were always first.
Yeah. It's only in the last couple of years that's changed around
Correct.
a bit.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that it's just, we talk about
13,
equality and fair,
13.
that the men get their opportunity to play first and the women, obviously we chop and change around. What I will say is it's very sometimes difficult to get your body adjusted to start a match much later in the night than it is to finish a match. That's why these first few games are always important in these second women's night matches.
And Strycova
14,
again,
15.
willing to come in behind the serve, get the eye of her opponent.
Again,
Pretty
Strycova,
comfortable hold of serve for the number 20 seed.
4 games up.
Yeah, they've both been really impressive off serve so far. Pliskova serving at 78% first serves and Strycova serving at 80%, which is extremely high for both players, which is why we see 4-all here in the first set.
$15.
Yeah, smart play there from Strycova just to make Pliskova play a volley.
15.
Didn't try and go around her, didn't try and lob her, just making her come up with a volley. Here, that floated long. It's hard to create angle when you're in the middle of the court, up through the middle.
Just the
15,
semblance of an
13.
opening then for Barbora. Pliskova's first serve percentage more than acceptable. It's the best of the tournament so far for her. 80% of first serves into play, and it's been matched by her opponent. Casey has been mentioning how important those numbers are.
13.
Another great serve there from Pliskova.
Now here's one of those points that can change the course of the match. 4-all, 30-all.
Very big point.
And Strycova comes up with the goods.
13, 14.
So she must do what she wasn't able to do in the first game of the match, where she had a break point and couldn't capitalise on it.
fault.
Gee, they gave the lines a fair old work over in that, and up goes the racket and down it comes.
Well, almost looked like Pliskova was going to stop the point there to challenge that one.
And it was so close to being a double fault as well.
Yeah. She did a good job with the racket throw here to throw it up and catch it.
She'll be kicking herself if she loses this game.
It's just got the same feeling, that last break point. But as a player, we know that you get your opportunities. If you don't get them, quickly got to put them to the side.
Again, that's another big hold. She's got the big weapon, the 168 serve wide that time, and she dodges another bullet and leads 5-4.
Time.
Tight first set. Strycova with opportunities, none of which, or neither of which, she's taken advantage of so far. So now she's got the pressure of serving to keep the set going at 4-5.
Again, prepared to come forward. She has played Pliskova, would know her game, I'm sure, inside out, but knows that she needs to make the most of the opportunity when she can come forward, take some risks, be brave. Another example right there.
To win it a few times.
Wow, what a great point.
30 left.
Saw a bit of everything in that point.
4 love. Game, Strycova.
Just a little breather for Barbora. A love game.
5 games up.
Who's going to be the first to crack then?
You almost feel like this set deserves a tie break. It's heading in that direction.
And if it does go to a tie-break, neither of these players, considering their record, has a great tie-break record. They're both in negative territory in career tie-breaks.
Let's first serve.
She's hard to lob, 6 feet 1 inch tall.
15 love.
Yeah, she did well with this smash. Like you said, she's got the stature, but she had to get a fair way back to hit that smash. And at night, conditions can often be difficult overhead, but it'd be nice to be that tall. I wish I had a little 10, even 10. I'd have 2 centimetres of her height.
I think Barbora wants to be the same way because she's 5 feet 4.5 inches. The minute you put a ½ inch, you know that you want every bit you can get.
Yeah, that's it. What's that in centimetres?
164.
Oh, I've got 1 centimetre on her then.
Good things come in small packages, Case.
That's right. That's what they say.
That's why I'm 6'3".
I have to say, it's one of the great things that I love about our sport, tennis, is it doesn't matter often how tall you are. You can, or short, or I guess physique. It's a sport for everyone, all ages.
Well, to back that up from the male side of things, look at what Diogo Schwartzman was able to do
14
against Rafa yesterday.
Oh, he was impressive.
5 feet 7 inches tall. He was the shortest man to get through to the US Open semi-finals in about 25, 30 years, I think.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
That's it.
Well, that will come as a welcome relief for Karolina. She gets a pretty comfortable service game for a change, and she's the first one to 6.
Pliskova leads 6 games to 5. Time.
It's taking a while to get this deadlock broken. 57 minutes so far, 58 according to the clock on the court. Strycova has stood up really well to the pressure of having to play catch up, serving second. And once again, she's prepared to follow the serve in and to say to Pliskova, well, you're going to have to earn this.
Yeah, any chance tonight that Strycova's looked to come forward. She's been prepared to do it, and she's definitely been rewarded for that.
One-shot rally.
30.
Yeah, good hitting from both players here.
Feel as though Pliskova is the powerful one out there, but Strycova hasn't been found lacking in the heavy hitting department. She's matched it with her opponent tonight. A love game takes us to the breaker.
6 games all. First set, tiebreak.
Well, I feel like this is what the set deserves. They've both served extremely well, both hit the ball really clean, like you said. Strycova certainly held her own this set. These first few points here in this tiebreak, extremely important.
And I might mention of the tiebreak records of these two players respectively. They both have negative records in tiebreaks in their career. Strycova is 54 and 58. Pliskova is 43 and 48. So I guess that means they go in on pretty even terms.
I like that serve there from Strycova.
1-0.
She's been opening the box up really well on her serve, but just then decided to go body.
And no wonder she loves it. She is matching everything that Pliskova can throw at her.
2-1. Strycova.
Well, we've spoken about her fierce competitiveness, Strycova. She's certainly showing that here already tonight.
She's maintained that incredible first serve percentage throughout the first set. She's at 82.
Strycova.
Just her first double fault. Not a great time to hit her first double fault for the match.
Never a good time to double fault, is
No.
there? But in the breaker, it's a no-no.
And she's particularly served well throughout the set and on big points.
Oh, a bit of luck. And that could be decisive in the outcome of this
4-1.
first set.
Strycova.
And she was praying for it to go over.
Willing for it to go over. Got a little bit lucky there with the net cord.
Well, it's no longer a mini break. It's approaching a maxi break now. And she didn't come up with the point, but the crowd just loving her ability to make you play one more ball. That's been a hallmark of her
4-2.
game for a long time now.
Strycova.
Yeah, it's great to watch, isn't it, when you see a player out there scrambling, hustling for every point, because the reality is in this tie-break, every point is important. And you just never know. Obviously, Pliskova was in a great position in that point, but it's great to see Strycova's hustling skills on show tonight so far.
But now we come to a massive point in the tie-break. Given the fact that she was able to get 2 points off Pliskova's serve as we hit the pumpkin hour. If she holds this point, she's still very much in the driver's seat. She doesn't. We're back to scratch.
Well,
4-3.
a little bit of poor decision making there from Strycova. Made that shot quite difficult. Great first serve once again. She served particularly well throughout this set. Probably just needed to reset then.
Part of the reason that Pliskova has found herself in this situation is that her first serve percentage has dropped away
5-3.
dramatically towards the end of this first set. Was up over 80 not that long ago. It's now down to 70. So she's going to have to start landing them and use her big weapon.
Oh, she's almost fallen over in every part of the court so far tonight.
4.
That's what we love about her. Good to see Pliskova coming forward again on this one. The amount of balls that Strycova gets back, she's got to be prepared to come forward and finish some points at the net.
She's been down a few times, but certainly not out. And now the first set is on the number 20 seeds racket.
Six, 4. Strycova.
Two set points to break the deadlock.
Six, 5.
Not happy with herself there.
Pliskova is just going to have to land a first serve here.
So important here, more than ever. Get on top of this point early.
Still set point, but now on Pliskova's serve. And her fighting qualities have come to the fore on Rod Laver Arena tonight. Barbora Strycova may be heading for an upset. Takes the first 7-6 in 1 hour and 9 minutes.
Well, what a set. Not much in it, but for me, majority of that set and the end result in that set going in favour of Strycova was the serve. I just feel like not once throughout that set did Strycova ever let Pliskova feel like she had a lot of hits on second serves. Strycova was holding fairly comfortable, besides one game there where she had a few break points against her, but Barbara, she just took risks when she needed to, was willing to come forward, serve volleyed. As we know, that's her game style. She likes to mix it up, but she certainly executed really well within that first set. And the thing with Pliskova's serve is that Strycova made a lot of returns. She likes to bunt a lot of returns. Pliskova wasn't getting a lot of free points off her serve, which she can tend to do, but Pliskova's certainly, I feel like she's got to look to be a little bit more aggressive in her service games and start to get into Strycova's service games a little bit more also. Well, as we've spoken about, 84% percentage of first serves in, and the rest of the stats, to be honest, 15 winners off the racket of Strycova, 16 off the racket of Pliskova, but not too much of a difference there in terms of winners and unforced errors, but just a couple of points in it, and certainly not much else to say, really.
And I reckon, Casey, what that doesn't tell you, that raw number, is the drop-off in first serve percentage that Pliskova had towards the end of the set. They were dueling 80-81 at one stage, and she finished up with 72, so it deserted her when she needed it most. And now Strycova has the advantage of serving first in this second set.
Love 50.
So this will come as a welcome relief to her, because she faced that pressure every time she stepped up to the line in the first set of having to play catch up. No breaks of serve in this match yet.
And that is the first set that Pliskova has lost in this tournament so far.
On the line. Maybe just a little inside it.
15-30.
Well, this is where Strycova needs to keep her foot on the pedal. Every point, it feels like, throughout this match has been extremely important.
Oh, this is really big for Pliskova now.
15-40.
Yeah, and this is the thing when you're playing someone as good as Pliskova, who has been #1 in the world and is a quality player, experienced player. One thing she does better than anyone is keep her composure. You wouldn't even know she's lost the first set.
And she can't do anything about that first set now, but what she can do is she can seize the initiative straight away in the second. She's still got one chance to do that. And the first break of serve comes in the first game of the second set.
First game, second set.
Well, tennis is a funny sport, isn't it? We didn't see one break of serve in that whole first set. Strycova's level was almost top 5, I would say. It was a very good level for the entire set, and then happens to lose her serve first game here in the second set. Great response from Pliskova, though.
Make the statement early on, call the tune of the second set, put the first set behind you. We say it a lot. It's only a break if you hold.
Done. Let for serve. $59.
She edges just in front of the aces column now, 3-2.
Yeah, like I said, nice to walk up to the line and be able to hit an ace when needed.
Perhaps she would have been looking at more than 3 at this stage of the match, though. She had 11 against Safarova in the previous round.
Really quality point there from both players. Always good to, if you get there with enough time, to play another drop shot off the drop shot.
There is a significant number about the long rallies, which I'll tell you about in a moment. We kind of get this feeling because of Barbora and the fact that she runs everything down, that she would probably have the edge in the longer rallies. Well, it's exactly the opposite. There have been 23 rallies of 9 shots or more in this match so far, and Pliskova has won 16 of them. Don't think Barbora liked that one that much. Pliskova backs up the break and has the 2-love lead early.
2 games, 2 love.
You're never left wondering about what she's feeling out on
No,
the court.
no. You always tend to see a little bit of... Oh, it's a good camera angle, isn't it? We've got the sound right in our ear as well. But no, she certainly... There's a lot of theatrics that go along with Strycova's game, which is entertaining. I do just feel, even in that first game, I reckon her intensity level, it only dropped maybe 5%, but when you're playing a player like Pliskova, that makes a difference.
And what makes it even more noticeable with Barbora and her reactions is her opponent at the other end. As you said before, you can never tell whether she's 5-1 up or 1-5 down. Stays on very much an even plane throughout her matches.
Couldn't be the complete opposite.
Yeah.
It's very rare to see Pliskova show much emotion, both negative, positive, which I know as a player, when you look up the other end of the court, sometimes you want to see something, but when you are playing an opponent with such great composure, it can be frustrating, but it's such a good trait to have.
And she has been criticised about it from general quarters as well, not showing emotion on court, but as you say, it makes it tough if you're standing on the other side of the net. Doesn't mean she's not enjoying what she's doing, doesn't mean she's not competitive at what she's doing.
No.
That's just her nature.
Absolutely, and that's where she finds her optimum, I guess, level of where she finds that she plays her best tennis, and it's important for a player to find that. For some players, they might like to play a high level intensity, come in and out, get frustrated, and that helps them. But for Pliskova, she's completely composed, it helps her game, and that's just her nature.
to 15.
Again, her ability to make you hit one more ball pays dividends. And she's saying, where was that in the first game when I needed it? Pliskova with the break leads 2-1.
Celtics Clippers at 10:30, Wednesday on ESPN.
I was going to say it's a nice night in Melbourne, but actually it's a nice morning because we are at 17 minutes past midnight. And some lovely volleying from Pliskova kept her in that point. She's serving here with new balls in the fourth game of the second set and serving with the break. And Strycova saying, why didn't she show me the balls? And Louise Engzel said, well, she did. Common courtesy for the players to hold up the balls at the start of a game where they're using the newies.
$15. $13. $14.
Oh.
14-13.
Pliskova's boyfriend there, looking a little bit concerned. It's definitely harder to see at night. You can't afford to take your eye off the ball for 1 second, even on an easy smash like that. Nothing's easy, but it was easy-ish.
Situation I'm going to call on the right service line. The ball was called in.
Well, she hasn't been very successful on challenges tonight, has she?
No, not at all.
I don't think she's going to be successful on this one either.
And I think that was a bit of an insurance policy because the ball went into the net anyway, so she's thinking, well, I may as well have a bit of a look.
I was just about to say, that was so well in.
Yeah. We should get two challenges for that. Where's that far in? And even Karolina's had a bit of a laugh.
She hasn't given us anything all night, but she's given us a smile on that challenge.
Translation?
She certainly took pace off that serve, but it was well in, wasn't it?
Yeah, what were you thinking? Anyway, after all that, it's 3-1.
$15.
Well,
15.
This match so far, I feel like the level has been extremely good. But just here in this second set, particularly that first service game of Strycova, and here now, just a few unforced errors creeping in. Pressure of Pliskova's ball. Strycova's done a good job so far, but
that's a brilliant overhead.
15-30.
It just feels like this match has changed now, doesn't it?
definitely a little bit of a momentum shift towards Pliskova. That first service game of Strycova's could potentially be costly, certainly here in this second set.
And she plays such a physical brand of tennis. She runs so hard, she covers so much ground that it would be expected that at some stage she might feel a bit of a lull. And maybe it's appearing right now.
I was just about to say that. We're seeing that right now.
2 break points for the double break. That's a nice way to save one.
13-14.
Yeah, and if Strycova's not careful, this set certainly could be out of her hands quickly.
Juice.
Interesting reaction from Karolina here. Probably disappointment, but maybe she's feeling it a little bit as well.
Situation and call on the left center service line. The ball was called out.
Here we go again.
At first blush, I thought this was wide.
Same.
Let's see if Hawkeye agrees with us.
Advantage, Pliskova.
It wasn't as slow as second serve by any
one
stretch. It was
challenge.
145, which is 6 kilometres an hour quicker than her average second serve speed. But Pliskova has just monstered it, sensing the moment, perhaps, sensing that this is the second set right here. Another point for the double break.
Yeah, I don't think Pliskova's done too much wrong in these 3 break points. I know she's disappointed, but good first serve here, getting Pliskova on the stretch. Not too much you can do about that.
She spent a fair bit of time on the plexi cushion tonight.
Advantage, Pliskova.
Oh my goodness. I'm wondering if she's going to be sore tomorrow. She's still got doubles to play with Lucy Safarova. She's certainly fallen over a few times tonight. Got back up again.
That's a brilliant lob. She had a lot of margin for error there. And the double break almost certainly spells the end of the second set. It's 4-1.
Time.
So then, with the double break and seemingly with the second set in her keeping, Pliskova serving.
Love 10.
Strycova, Casey, doesn't appear to be the sort of player who might just pull back on the throttle a bit when you're down a double break and keep your powder dry for a third set. I don't think that's in her DNA.
No, absolutely not. Every point. She'll be still fighting for. The challenge now is once Pliskova gets in front on the scoreboard, certainly feels she's found her groove. Didn't necessarily do too much wrong in that first set, but a few more errors from Strycova.
Was that something you ever contemplated if you got down a double break in a set? Did you think, well, maybe I'll just save something for the next set?
You know what? Never. No, it was it's kind of never a thought as a player that you feel like you need to preserve any energy. So, well, that's how I personally have felt. Men's best of 5 set tennis. I'm confident to say that I've seen periods where guys have done that.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that's the difference. The 5-set format makes a bit of a difference in that regard. Well, here she's got 2 chances to pull one of the breaks back.
Nice way to save one.
14. Game. Strycova.
So maybe this second set is not just done and dusted yet.
4 games to 2.
Still a long way back. Barbora is maintaining this remarkable first serve percentage rate. Clear the poop. So the birds have been at it again. They get the special poop cleaning towel out.
She's telling the ball kid, I'll do it. How kind of her.
And we were talking about that first serve percentage,
15.
which is now 82% for the set. The worrying part for her, though, is that the points that she's won on that first serve has dropped away to be 50% so far in this second set. She needs to lift that number.
Net. First serve.
Yeah, Strycova's doing a good job here, just gaining a little bit of momentum back. Certainly felt like for a few games Pliskova had found her groove.
Well, not even she could do it 3 times.
If you were coaching Strycova, you'd certainly be proud of her effort, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's a really good play that Pliskova, I think, could potentially use a little bit more, is the back in behind. Strycova's very good at just moving laterally, side to side. Going back in behind certainly changes the feel.
Full chain, 15. Game. Strycova.
She's not going away just yet. And now there'll be a bit of pressure on Pliskova's serve, even though she's got the break up her sleeve.
They say money can't buy happiness. Yet every day, $4.99 buys you a foot-long Black Forest ham, meatball marinara, spicy Italian, and more. Guess what? That's happiness, and I'm buying it. And after I buy them, I'm gonna eat them. Just not all at once. 5 foot-longs now just $4.99 each. Every day for a limited time. Subway, so much sandwich.
Time.
Karolina Pliskova has looked pretty confident and comfortable so far in the second set, getting up a double break, but there'll just be a little bit of added pressure on this service game.
Yeah, she needs a good service game here, Pliskova.
59.
Not such a bad way to start at 176. Her quickest of the match has been 184. But I still get back to that point. 4 aces after an hour and 44 minutes. I would have thought she would have had more than that with the weapon that she's got. She dared Strycova to pass, and she was up to it.
Yeah, not a great approach here from Pliskova. Basically played it up through the middle. Not too much on it either, and probably deserved what it got.
She needs to be very careful here.
Yeah, you can feel the momentum,
15,
can't you?
13.
From 4-1 up to now being in this position. This is what we spoke about. Some players might preserve a little bit of energy thinking of the long-term match, but not Strycova. She's here to play in every point.
Gee, that ball could have easily floated out. She did a very good job to keep it under control. Well, that was a big point, and here comes another one. At 30 all, Strycova's chance to get back into it and maybe get it done in straight sets. And now she's got a really good look at it.
30, 40.
Well, this has been a bit sloppy when you're up a double break. Up goes the racket again. Didn't catch it that time.
Juice.
I like that serve. She just took a little bit of pace off that one, Pliskova, 156, but really good placement. Means Strycova's got to create some of her own pace, and
well, surely this, even if she finds the mark and she thinks it's outside, it wouldn't be challenging in a timely manner.
definitely too late to challenge.
Yeah. Even if she had to put her finger in the air, I think Louise Engzel would have been saying no.
Yeah, and you certainly can't tell the umpire to wait so you can check a mark.
That's a big hold, as it turns out. Down a break point. She would have been furious with herself.
Game, Pliskova.
Well, was wondering if Louise was going to tell us the score there for a minute.
It is late. We'll give her that.
I think she might have just a little bit of a throat issue.
Love 15.
That hold proved to be so important, Casey, for Karolina in that previous game. If she had given up a double break, all of a sudden it hands the momentum back to her opposition. But now she's still got it. Not as much as she had it about 15 minutes ago, though.
No, but you certainly feel, like you said, the pressure's now back on Strycova, which in the context of this match is crucial. So that hold in particular is going to be very, very important.
Love 13.
Such a great serve, that body serve. Don't feel like neither of these girls have used that serve much tonight. Always trying to spread the box by hitting the spots out wide or down the tee.
Well, Strycova's got to be thinking to herself as Louise takes a drink of water. We might have to call the trainer here in a moment, but it might be unusual because we might be calling it for the chair umpire. She's got to be thinking to herself, Strycova, if I can just get this
30-14
to the next game, then the pressure of serving for the set, we'll see whether it takes any effect. But she mightn't have to worry about it because after 8 minutes shy of 2 hours, Pliskova has a point to extend this into a third and deciding set. Down she goes again, and down on the scoreboard goes Barbora Strycova. Pliskova is taking this one to a decider after 1 hour and 52 minutes. She takes the second set, 6-3. Well, as it turns out, that hold that she made, where she could have easily lost both breaks, turned out to be very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like we said, the pressure went back onto Strycova in that last game, but I think it does feel like, for me, a little bit of an advantage for Pliskova to start this third set off serving first. But a lot, again, for me, it was a bit more of Strycova's level dropping a little bit. Just a few moments throughout this second set, a couple of different lull periods. But Pliskova certainly raised her level. And her composure, which we know is one of her strengths, her way to work through matches is certainly one of her qualities. And this third set, well, I think we're in for a goodie. A lot more winners. Stands out for me. Strycova's first serve percentage a little bit down from the first set as well, but certainly a lot more aggressive from Pliskova. And also, obviously, a couple more break points won.
Not only was her first serve percentage down, but the percentage of points that she won when it went in dropped away noticeably as well. Went from 73 in the first set to 50 in that second set.
Yeah, that's massive.
Look at Pliskova. She was out there before Louise Engzel called time, ready to get on with it, almost presenting that image
Final set.
to her opponent, saying, okay, I've got the initiative now, and I intend to keep it.
15. Certainly.
I was just looking back, Casey, at her Australian Open record, Karolina Pliskova,
14-15,
to see whether she's been able to come back from a set down. She did it against Yelena Ostapenko in the third round last year. If we get a repetition of the third set score, though, we're going to be here for a while, because it was 10-8 in the third.
and 14-13.
Well, again, probably just not the right shot to come in off. She certainly got Barbora at end range, but missed her opportunity to close out that volley. Made it a little bit difficult for herself.
Advantage, Pliskova.
I still do tend to feel that this match is on Pliskova's racket.
Oh, little touch of the tape on the way through.
Just
So from comfortable at 40-15 to a couple of deuces.
Advantage. Pliskova.
Tough point there from Strycova. Even early in this third, you just can feel the tension. You can feel how important every point is.
And how important is the next point?
Advantage. Strycova.
We knew Strycova was going to make Pliskova play a lot of balls tonight, but she's done particularly well on just making a lot of returns. She's bunted some back. She's potentially not hit a lot of winners off them, but she certainly has made Pliskova play a lot of balls off her serve. Pliskova tends to often get a lot more free points off her serve.
Game.
And the break
Strycova.
comes immediately, and it goes the way of the number 20 seed. Is that going to send her on her way?
Final set.
Well, from being 40-15 up, in control of that service game, to eventually lose that game. It's a little bit disappointing, I'm sure, for Pliskova, but she needs to respond well here.
Just the second break of the Pliskova serve in this match. It comes at a very opportune time for Barbora Strycova. A deep breath. And now the chance of backing up the break.
No.
It's kind of a free point there. Just took the pressure off a bit.
Pliskova has to make sure she keeps her feet moving. early on here in this third set. One thing we know is Strycova's feet don't stop moving. A tough point there from Pliskova.
15-30.
She has to be prepared for these next few games to just not miss, but obviously to play with controlled aggression.
And the last thing she could afford to do was to postpone the attempted regaining of the break.
15-14.
The best time to do it is always immediately. And she's got 2 chances of doing that. A bit of a wild one on first serve. And the break back comes, and it comes straight away. So for Pliskova, the deciding set is back on track again.
Like I said, the best response possible to get that break straight back. She does hit this off backhand return really well. Cleans the line and knows how important that break back was.
It's
definitely the side, if I was Pliskova, that I would favour, on big points especially, to go into Strycova's forehand. Certainly solid off both sides, and I feel like tonight she's hit her forehand and backhand, but on big points, getting it in to Strycova's forehand, certainly the way to go.
The strings all appear to be intact, so maybe she's just not happy with the tension. Ball changes coming after this game. And this is just what the doctor ordered for Karolina Pliskova after breaking back
14
to get a stress-free service game.
Pliskova needs to not take her foot off the pedal when she is up in her service games as well. We saw it last game, up 40-15, ended up losing it. Closing this game out as quick as she can.
Game.
And there's a few starting to hit the net off the racket of Barbora Strycova now. Pliskova's got it back on track, and she leads on serve 2-1.
Time.
It's on serve, but it feels though the momentum might have gone the way of the number 6 seed once again, because after she was able to break back, she got a hold of her own serve to love. Just a smattering of people left in the stadium. It's now past 1 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday morning in Melbourne, but there's a big prize at the end of this one. And it's just starting to flow off the racket of Pliskova again. But didn't we say this in the second set?
Yeah. Certainly with Pliskova, she's got the weaponry, we know that. We know what Strycova's going to bring and has brought this match, but certainly more on the racket of Pliskova.
One thing that is really starting to go off with Strycova now is her first serve. In this set, and it's only early, but in this set, her first serve percentage is 14%. So she's landed 1 of 7.
It's a stark comparison to what we saw, especially in the first set.
Yeah. And she's getting frustrated by it. You can tell by the way she swiped that ball away. It's all rolling the way of the number 6 seed.
Love 14.
It's definitely all starting from the serve, isn't it? She really is on the back foot, Strycova. And Pliskova being able to be very aggressive.
Well done. We know her fighting qualities, but she's going to have to display them in this particular game.
14.
Her back's to the wall. Sometimes that's when you get the best from her. Still 2 chances, though, for Karolina.
Left for serve. Thirteen, 14.
One more, say, her supporters. But she can't come up with the one, and her anguished cry tells you what she thinks of that.
Yeah, and it was the forehand there that let Strycova down. This is what Pliskova does so well. Just here. Not accelerating as much as she was in the first set. Obviously, we're over 2 hours in and over the length of a match. You see that?
Oh, yeah. It's all starting to happen now. The winners are rolling off the racket. That's 7 winners she's had now
15,
in this third set. Strycova's only managed 3. And as good a fighter as she is, it's going to take something extraordinary from the number 20 seed to turn the feel of this match around. She didn't give away any of those free points early on.
No, absolutely not.
30 love.
You never saw Pliskova panic. She just stuck to her game plan up until this point, and it's paying off now.
Growing in confidence by the minute. She can sniff this now.
Yeah, big hitting now from Pliskova. She's done it throughout the match, but you can just see her ability to change direction still at this point in the match. Very effective.
A 40 footer.
Big payday for the winner, obviously, but not a bad payday for the one who bows out. 220,000 Australian dollars.
It's gone up a little bit since I was making a few fourth rounds.
Game.
It's a long way back from here. Pliskova now within 2 games of victory. 4-1, third set.
Pliskova needs 4 games to 1.
We make pop-up cards. We started with 2 people. Today we're 400.
With Office 365, we can all stay connected.
And 3D and PowerPoint shows clients exactly what our cards look like.
Seeing people's reactions makes it all worthwhile.
The only reason I told you, because I thought you was going to handle it.
I got you.
Do you?
New episodes, Sundays at 10, only on Showtime. Start your free trial.
Time.
Four games to 1. It's all going Karolina Pliskova's way in this third set. Hard to see how Barbora Strycova is going to be able to turn this around, but one thing we know for sure, she'll be giving it whatever she's got left.
Situation has been called on the left near sideline. The ball was
Will
called
she get
out.
one right before the end of this night?
Don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Not with this one.
No. It was long. All wide.
And it was extremely close to a double. Must have just caught the back edge of the line.
Strycova has 2 challenges remaining.
And down she goes again.
Like I said, if I was her coach, you certainly can't fault her effort tonight. Like you said, the match isn't over and she's certainly going to continue to fight.
She's one of these players you can be absolutely guaranteed that she is not going to leave anything out there on the court. That's been the way she's rolled. She's 31 now. She's done it all the way throughout her career. Serve volley pays off.
Call on the right baseline. The ball was called out. $13, 15. Pliskova has 2 challenges remaining. $14, 15.
Big hitting there from Pliskova.
14, 13.
Still room for a smile for David Katiza, who's in charge of Barbora Strycova. She also does some work with Lucas DeLuey.
And ironically, he's worked with Pliskova before.
So
and Kvitova.
they're playing musical chairs. Thomas Krupa is now in charge of Pliskova, and that relationship started in Brisbane.
Advantage. Strycova.
Just seeing that point, Strycova getting pushed back further and further, but Pliskova eventually making the error.
And Strycova pushing it again, following the serve in, saying, well, if I can just hold this to one break,
4 games to 2.
who knows what might happen.
I feel like this is a match that Pliskova almost needs if she wants to go really deep in this tournament. She hasn't been tested too much. Obviously against Safarova, it was a tight match, but when we're talking in terms of 3 sets, time on court, she's definitely being tested tonight in a lot of ways. And she'll certainly feel good if she can work her way through this match.
And she'll need to have a bit of form behind her because she plays the #1 seed if she gets through it in the quarterfinals. Simona Halep's waiting. She did a bit of a number on the young Japanese Naomi Osaka earlier today. Hopefully that's just exhaustion and frustration.
Yeah, she was in control of that point at one point. Pliskova did a good job to get back into that point. It was a big point. 15-all at this point in time is much better than love 30.
And just a little round of applause from the people remaining. I think they're appreciative of the fact that she's flung herself around at everything tonight. The only thing you can ask of someone when they go out there is to give everything they've got. And
15,
you know
13.
that most of the time, or in fact all the time, you're going to get it from Strycova.
I've never seen someone fall over so much in a match, but like you said, she's certainly given it 110%.
Might be worth it here. She's got a little window of opportunity. Yeah.
30.
Well, she's entertaining, isn't she? The theatrics that, like we've spoken about, come along with Strycova. That first shot that off the return that Pliskova had to make wasn't easy.
That is an exceptional shot. When she plays that, there's almost not a player in the game who can do anything about it when she gets that going.
No, that shot at 30-all under pressure was magnificent. Little adjustment steps here to get around to make sure she had a forehand, but the execution was amazing.
Game, Pliskova.
And she bears down at the moment. When it was needed at 15-30, she was in a bit of trouble, but now she's just one game away.
Time.
It's hard to know what's happened more tonight, Barbora being on the ground or a racket being in the air. There's been a fair bit of both. There's been a lot of emotion on display. That's what makes it fun to watch her, and the other thing that makes it fun to watch her is she gives it what she's got. And now she's going to have to give it her all, because if she can't hold here, they'll be shaking hands.
15 love.
That's her 4th clean winner of this set only. She's -4 winners to unforced errors. Pliskova has had 11 of each, so she's level pegging in that ratio.
$50.
Yeah, for me, since the first set was over, Pliskova's level hasn't really changed throughout this match. It's just been Strycova's level coming in and out after she won that first set.
Oh, sensational. That's not bad after 2.5 hours.
13-15.
Well, I'm sure the people in the crowd appreciate the effort. Thought this backhand was pretty good, but that forehand cross-court winner was much better.
The off forehand has got better as the match has gone on.
31.
Yep, and along with the off forehand, the footwork.
Wouldn't Pliskova love to just get it done here and not have to worry about the pressure of serving the match out?
Let pressure. $40-13. Just
Those were the passes in the first set that were coming off nicely. She likes a target, but that forehand, they're just not making it past Pliskova.
She had 15 winners, Casey, in the first set, and in the next 2 sets she's had a combined total of 12.
Yeah, that's certainly saying something, isn't it? That first set really was superb tennis from Strycova. But it's only 1 set, isn't it? Certainly doesn't win you a match. And
Juice.
We've seen Pliskova throughout this match just always take a look up the other end of the court, seeing what type of reaction she's getting.
And if Strycova's done the same thing, she'd be getting nothing. Well, maybe the brave resistance is about to come to an end.
Pliskova.
It's taken more than 2.5 hours. The number 6 seed went in as the heavy favourite against her countrywoman. She disposed of another Czech player in the previous round, and she's on the verge of being able to do it again. Match point.
Strycova challenged Nicole on the right service line. The ball was called out.
May as well. She's got one.
First serve.
Well, she actually did get one. Hasn't had good success tonight, but...
No, only took 2 hours and 35 minutes. Who knows, might be important. She's not going to die wondering, that's for sure.
Juice.
Like you said, she's not going to die wondering, is she? She's given it everything she's got still.
Well, 5-2 sometimes looks and feels a bit like 2 breaks, but it's only 1. So if she can hold here,
Just never know.
Yeah, it's just not in the book just yet. Oh.
Well, that serve was right in the strike zone of Pliskova, and she's found that off forehand, like we've said. The longer that this match has gone on, her coach hasn't really given us too much, just like his player. Very calm and cool and collected. Yeah, that forehand's really come good from Pliskova.
Strycova faces a second match point on her service. Will she follow this one in again? She's been very dynamic and proactive on a lot of the big points in this match.
She got a bit lucky there with the let call Pliskova, but Strycova did a good job getting there, as she does with a lot of balls.
Well, that could have easily been stone dead, that let court. Going to be another match point to come.
Advantage.
With the 16th
Pliskova.
point of this 8th game of the 3rd set. We're starting to get into law of averages territories now, but Barbora doesn't often pay much heed to law of averages, the way she plays the game. Can she defend again? It was a long time coming, but it's worth the wait for Karolina Pliskova. 2 hours and 41 minutes it takes against her countrywoman. No embracing there from the two Czechs. There was a bit of an edge to that. And Karolina Pliskova, from the first set onwards, looked the player more likely, and so it proves. And she sets up a date with Simona Halep in the quarterfinals at the Australian Open.
Yeah, she was certainly the more solid player throughout the match. Strycova played a great first set, but from that moment on, Pliskova found her groove and was just solid, consistent, aggressive when she could be. Started to find her serve and her spots a lot better. Basically was just a whole all-round better player in the end. Strycova fought hard, did a great job. Would be happy to have got to the 4th round here, has doubles to look forward to. And like I said, from Pliskova's point of view, a great test for her tonight. I think she'll be better off for having that match. Like you said, she's going to play Halep next round, which is, that's going to be tough, but she's well prepared, and this was a great match for her.
Well, let's have a listen to what she's got to say. She's going to chat to someone who knows her very well, Renee Stubbs.
Well, thanks, Karolina. Congratulations. I know it's early in the morning, but you still have to do this interview. Congratulations. Incredible match. Very difficult to play against a fellow countrywoman. What was the thought process after losing that first set, and what did you need to change?
I think the first set was very close, but I needed to a little bit step up into the court and play more aggressive, because the first set took me quite a lot of power, and I was not really playing my game, so I was just trying to play more aggressive, concentrate on my serve, and I got a few breaks, quick break in the second set, which helped me, and I think I was playing fine the other 2 sets.
Now, a lot of people here don't really know much about you and your personality, but you look pretty cool as a cucumber out here, like not too worried, but what is going on inside of you?
Cucumber?
Cool, you mean you're cool. You look you're a good poker player.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, but inside I think it's a little bit different, but I'm trying to stay calm, and especially at this time when it's almost 2 in the morning, so I don't want to, really get angry at this time. And I thank you guys for staying. I hope you enjoyed the tennis.
Okay, quickly, because it is quite late, but I think you're a night person, so I think it's fine for you, but you now have to play against Simona Halep in the next round. I know you don't really want to think about this right now, but, just let us know about your thoughts on playing her.
Yeah, last time we played in, I think, was Paris. Was very close match. I think on this surface I have chance. I think I was playing much better serving today than the previous matches, so happy with my game. And, I try to rest a little bit, not think about tennis for a while, and I tell you maybe tomorrow what I'm going to play.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sticking around, and Karolina Pliskova through to the quarterfinals.
And it will be a match worthy of quarterfinal status. It could easily be a match worthy of final status when Halep plays Pliskova. It did take a long time, by far the longest match she's played at 2 hours and 41 minutes. The previous longest match was against Safarova, 1 hour and 37 minutes. But as you said before, Casey Delacqua, at least she knows she's going to take pretty good form into a match against the current #1 player in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no better feeling when you come off a tough match like she had tonight, to get through some tough moments there, especially after losing that first set. But she responded really well, and like she said, she got an early break there in the second, and that certainly changed the momentum of the match. It helped her out a lot. She stepped up, she started to be a bit more aggressive, and was certainly the better player there in the end. As we look at the match summary, obviously, like we said, once Pliskova started playing a lot more aggressive tennis, a lot more winners off her racket, and a lot more breaks of serve. Had a lot of break points, 18 conversion, 6 of those, but yeah, certainly a lot more winners off the racket of Pliskova.
So there are the numbers at the end. The important number at the end of the match is the one that Karolina Pliskova looked at on the scoreboard, and it was in her favour. So she sets up a date with Simona Halep in the quarterfinals of the Australian Open. She's been to the quarterfinals here last year, so she's equalled her best Australian Open result. Casey, it's been a pleasure to share the early morning with you at 20-2 in Melbourne.
It's a late one, but it was worth it.
It was. And it was worth it for Karolina in 2 hours and 41 minutes. 6-7, 6-3, 6-2. It's farewell from Melbourne Park on day 8. And in just a few hours' time, the action will continue at the Australian Open Championships of 2018.